Hi, good afternoon. This is Elizabeth Griffin, your independent author from South Philadelphia, and today I want to talk a little bit about plotting and pantsing. So, if you're a writer, you may have come across these terms, but I'd like to elaborate on them a little bit. So, if you are a plotter, you could be a person that likes to outline your story from beginning to end. And you may use the format that a lot of high school students use, which is the Roman numeral breakdown and then the subdivisions of capital A, capital B. And then you break that down even further to small a, small b, and the numbers, number one, two, three. So you may break your plot and your story down in that type of format. And that's real structured. For me, I like to outline in a different way. I like to break the story down into chapters. So if my story is about, let's say, 30 chapters, I will put a sentence in each chapter about what that chapter will be about. And I'll do that from beginning to end. And it's a rough guideline. I don't think that I will stick to it completely. I may deviate, but that gives me structure to know where the story is headed. And obviously, as a writer, you have the liberty to go in different directions, but it gives you some vision from beginning to end. Other people may like to outline in a panting type of way where they may jot down some information and then just start writing. So that is an example of a plotter. If you are a pantser, you are a person that writes by the seat of your pants. And you could be a person that just sits at the typewriter or the computer and start typing. And you don't know exactly where the story is going. You may have a kernel of an idea. You may have picked one of the seven plot structures, which we talked about in earlier videos. You may use that as a model for you telling your story, but you will write by the seat of your pants. Whatever comes to mind, you will write it, and your story will be created as you go along. And so you will discover as you're writing it, different things that you didn't know about the story because you hadn't thought of it beforehand. So it's as though you're writing it and reading it for the first time. So that's an example of a pantser. For me, I like to do a combination of both. I like to have a kernel of an idea. I like to know, like to have the thesis or the theme of the story. I like to know what the plot is, one of the seven plot structures. I like to have a theme. I like to have a profile of my characters. And some plotters will have detailed breakdowns of all their characters. And I've heard of some authors who use spreadsheets for their characters, for their settings, for their history, for all the background information. Or you can use a composition book, which is something I like to do. I like to write in a composition book and keep information there, like story ideas. I also like to open up a tablet and a file in my computer and just jot down sentences that may come to mind, or dialogue or language that just springs to me, and I figure maybe later on I'll use it. So that's just an example of a plotter and a pantser. So it's up to you to determine which you are. And as I say, I can be a combination of both. What I do realize, though, with plotting, if you're interested in screenwriting or writing for script writing, things like that, there is a formula involved, and you do need to hit certain beats at certain positions in your story. So plotting will help you in that sense. You can't write by the seat of your pants if you're doing a screenplay or something like that. There's structure, there's format, there's formula. So if you condition yourself to do a combination of both plotting and pantsing, I think that will help you if you decide to go into screenwriting or script writing or even playwriting. So this is my take on pantsing and on plotting. Give me some of your ideas and let me know what you think. Also, with plotting, you can use the 3 act structure of playwriting or of script writing. There's also something called the 5 act structure, and you can use those as models for your plotting a novel out. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you for spending time with me, and please enjoy your evening. Love, peace, joy. Bye bye.